Hey guys, just a quick note. Some logos in this video are blurred or modified. This is a fan-made 2D animated story, not official and not affiliated with any players, clubs, or leagues. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button. Every subscriber pushes this channel further, and I have a lot more stories to tell. April 2001, Old Trafford, Manchester. Roy Keane runs toward a man who is already standing still. He does not slow down. He drives his boot directly into the right knee of Erling Haaland with the full force of a professional footballer who has been waiting for this moment for 3.5 years. Alfie finishes the match. He plays one more game after that, and then he never plays 90 minutes of professional football again. His son is 8 months old. The story of Erling Haaland does not start with Erling Haaland. It starts in a small town called Bryne on the southwest coast of Norway, where the wind comes off the North Sea and the winters are long, and the people who leave rarely become famous, and the people who stay rarely become rich. Alfie Haaland leaves. He becomes a professional footballer, a midfielder, honest, physical, reliable. Not a star, a soldier. The kind of player every team needs and nobody makes a film about. He meets Gry Marita Braut. She is Norwegian heptathlon champion. 7 events, 7 disciplines. Speed, endurance, power, precision. Their youngest child will carry her surname alongside his father's when he plays for Norway. He will wear Braut Haaland on the back of his shirt, in tribute to the woman whose athletic genetics run through everything he does on a pitch. July 21st, 2000. Alfie is playing for Leeds United. His wife gives birth in Leeds, West Yorkshire. They name the boy Erling. 9 months later, Roy Keane ends Alfie's career with 1 tackle. Erling grows up with no memory of his father as a footballer. He has never seen it. He only knows the man who sits in the stands, who advises him, who negotiates every contract, who is present at every major moment of a career built, in some sense, on the ruins of his own. The family returns to Bryne. Erling grows up in the same small town his parents came from, the same wind, the same coast, the same pitch where his father once learned the game as a boy. By 5 years old, he is already unusual. Not just in football, in everything physical. At 5 years old, he sets a world record for his age category in the standing long jump, 1.63 meters. The record is documented. People around Bryne start paying attention. He plays football and handball and golf and athletics because his mother's body demands multiple outlets, and his father's football mind shapes how he moves through all of them. He is tall before he should be tall. He is strong before he should be strong. He accelerates like something mechanical, like the body is operating on a different set of rules. At 15, he joins Bryne's reserve team in the Norwegian 4th tier. He scores 18 goals in 18 matches. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is managing Molde. He takes one look at the 16-year-old and makes the call. In his first full season at Molde, Haaland scores 12 goals. He is 17 years old, playing in Norway's top division, and the scouts from Austria and Germany are already in the stands pretending to watch someone else. January 2019, Red Bull Salzburg, Austria. He sits on the bench for months. The coaches are not sure. He is 18. The league is demanding. They want to be patient. Then, one afternoon in July, they are not patient anymore. He starts. He scores. He scores again. He scores in the next match, and the next, and the next. By September, Salzburg are in the Champions League group stage. Haaland walks onto a European stage for the first time in his life. His first touch in Champions League football produces a shot. His second touch produces a goal. His third touch produces another. Hat trick on debut. In the first half, he scores 8 goals in the Champions League group stage that season. Salzburg do not advance. The goals do not stop. 28 goals in 22 appearances for Salzburg. January 2020. Borussia Dortmund paid 20 million euros to take him to Germany. His first match, Augsburg away. He comes on as a substitute in the 63rd minute. He scores in the 69th. He scores in the 76th. He scores in the 79th. Hat trick as a substitute, in 23 minutes, on debut. The press conference after the match, reporters ask Dortmund's coach what he is dealing with. The coach does not have an answer. Nobody has an answer yet. Everyone is still catching up. 2 full seasons at Dortmund, 86 goals in 89 appearances. He wins the DFB Pokal, Germany's domestic cup. He scores 10 Champions League goals in a single campaign, the most of any player in Europe that season. He wins UEFA Forward of the Year. He is 21 years old. The release clause in his contract becomes active in the summer of 2022. Real Madrid wants him. Barcelona wants him. Bayern Munich wants him. Manchester City wins. 60 million euros. For Haaland, the choice carries a weight no other club can offer. His father once played at the Etihad Stadium. He grew up spending time in Manchester when Alfie was there. There is something unfinished in that city, some circle that needs to be closed. He arrives in the summer of 2022. Pep Guardiola, the greatest manager of his generation, has spent years building teams that do not need a traditional striker. Intricate, technical, positional football. The ball circulates, the spaces open. Players move into them in rotation. No fixed number 9. Then Haaland arrives, and Guardiola rebuilds the entire architecture around him. The spaces that City's movement creates now have one destination, one left foot, one set of coordinates in the penalty area that the ball is now always trying to find. The 2022-23 season does not feel real while it is happening. 36 Premier League goals, the most ever scored in a single season. The record that Alan Shearer set in 1995-96, 34 goals, was considered untouchable for almost 30 years. Haaland passes it and keeps going. 52 goals in all competitions, the most any Manchester City player has ever scored in a single season, the most any Premier League player has ever scored in a single season. City win the league. City win the FA Cup. City win the Champions League in Istanbul. Haaland scores 12 goals in the Champions League alone, the most of any player in the competition. He holds all 3 trophies above his head in the same summer. His father watches from the stands. The man whose career ended on a knee at Old Trafford watches his son lift the trophy that defines European football. The circle that started in Brighton, that passed through Leeds and Manchester and ended on that pitch in 2001, closes in Istanbul 22 years later. The records keep coming the following season. City win the league again. Haaland scores 27 Premier League goals in 31 matches, his second consecutive Golden Boot. The fastest player in history to score 50 Premier League goals. 48 appearances. Andy Cole held the previous record at 65. By the end of 2023, he reaches 300 career goals. He is 23 years old. Mbappe needed 409 games to reach 300. Messi needed 418. Cristiano Ronaldo needed 554. Haaland does it in 370. The numbers are so far outside normal that analysts start checking for errors. They are not errors. And then the question arrives, the one that will follow him for the rest of his career, the same way the goal-scoring records follow him, but from a different direction. Is he the greatest striker alive, or is he simply the most efficient? Coaches who face him talk about it openly. He does not participate in the build-up. He does not press the ball in his own half. He does not create for others, or drift wide, or link the play, or do the invisible work that makes teammates better. He runs specific channels. He waits for the moment the ball arrives in the box, and when it arrives, almost without exception, it goes in. The mechanics are extraordinary. His shot speed has been recorded at 137 kilometers per hour. He is 1.95 meters tall and runs the 100 meters in 10.7 seconds. He heads the ball with the accuracy of a trained sniper and the power of something industrial. He scores goals that footballers spend careers trying to score once. Bicycle kicks, half volleys from 30 meters, headers at full dive, back heels, chips. He does not have a preferred method. He has a preferred outcome. But the question about depth, about artistry, about whether he is a complete footballer or an extraordinary machine optimized for one specific function, that question does not go away. His relationship with the Ballon d'Or tells the story plainly. 2023, City win the treble. Haaland scores 52 goals. The Gerd Miller Trophy, given to the highest scorer, goes to him. The Ballon d'Or itself goes to Messi. The voter reasoning is debated intensely. Some argue the Champions League final performance, in which he was relatively quiet, mattered. Others point to the goals scored across the whole season and find no reasonable argument for placing anyone else above him. He finishes second, then third the following year, then second again. The Ballon d'Or keeps going to other people. The goals keep going to him. 2024 to 25. An injury in December. A Premier League slump. City, for the first time in years, do not win the title. They finish third. The Champions League exits early, their worst European campaign in a dozen years. For the first time since he arrived, something about Manchester City feels mortal. Haaland himself speaks less than almost any elite footballer at his level. His interviews are friendly and brief and reveal almost nothing. He sleeps 9 hours a night. He controls his diet with the precision of a performance laboratory. He meditates. He wears blue light blocking glasses to protect his sleep. He lives the life of a machine that is also somehow human, somewhere inside. He scores his 150th goal for Manchester City from the penalty spot at Anfield in April 2026. A milestone that arrives faster than any before it. The Etihad rises. He does not celebrate the number specifically. He just jogs back to the halfway line. But none of this, not the records, not the trophies, not the debate about artistry versus efficiency, not the question of whether a man who scores at this rate for this long can possibly not win a Ballon d'Or. None of it is where the story has always been pointing. It was always pointing here. June 2025, Oslo, Norway. Have beaten Italy 4-1 in a World Cup qualifier. Haaland scores the final goal, his 15th in the campaign. Norway have not beaten Italy in 25 years. September 2025, Moldova. Norway win 11 goals to 1. Haaland scores 5 and assists 2 more. 7 goal contributions in one match. The first European male player to score 5 goals in a World Cup qualifier since Hans Krankel in 1977. October 2025, Israel. A hat trick. Norway win 5 goals to 0. Haaland reaches 50 international goals in 46 appearances, the fastest player of the 21st century to reach that number. Harry Kane needed 71 caps. Haaland does it in 25 fewer. November 16, 2025. Italy away. Norway need a win to qualify. Haaland scores twice. Norway win 4 goals to 1. Norway are going to the World Cup. For the first time since 1998, 28 years. The streets of Oslo fill. The celebrations are the kind that happen once in a generation in a country that did not expect this. A country of 5 million people. A country that does not produce footballers at the rate of Brazil or France or Spain. A country that almost nobody picked to be in this tournament. They are here because one man dragged them here. 16 qualifying goals. A record for European qualifying. Almost single-handedly. He is coming home, not to Breen, not to Manchester. Home, in the way that only an international tournament can mean for a player who has won everything at club level, to the shirt, to the country, to something larger than contracts and transfer fees and Premier League records. His son was born in December 2024, a boy. He joins his grandfather in having watched the best and most devastating moment of a football career from an age too young to understand. The cycle turns. June 17, 2026. Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. Norway versus Iraq, the World Cup. Haaland's first. He scores twice. Norway win 4 goals to 1. He has never been to a World Cup before. He is 25 years old, and this is his first time. June 23, 2026. MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. Norway versus Senegal. The group stage match that decides everything. Haaland scores twice more. Norway win 3 goals to 2. Norway are through to the round of 32. 6 goals in the tournament now. 4 goals in 2 matches. The Golden Boot race begins immediately. Norway beats Ivory Coast 2 goals to 1 in the round of 32. Haaland scores the deciding goal, 7 goals, in 3 matches. The debate about artistry versus machine pauses for a moment. Nobody watching him run past a Senegalese center-back or chest down a cross against Ivory Coast and lash it into the corner is thinking about what he cannot do. They are watching what he can. His father does not play football anymore, has not played at the highest level since April 2001. He sits in the stands at American stadiums and watches a 25-year-old Norwegian carry his surname and his mother's surname and the surname of everyone from Breen Whoever watched a boy with a standing long jump record and wondered how far he would go? There are more matches coming. The quarterfinal bracket opens. The opponents grow larger. The pressure builds. Norway, for all of Haaland's brilliance, are not France or Argentina or Spain. They are a team built in one specific shape for one specific player, and if that player is stopped, the whole structure risks coming apart. He has not been stopped yet. Nobody in this tournament has found the answer. The goal machine from the North Sea coast, the son of the man whose career ended in a deliberate act of violence on a Manchester pitch, is playing his first World Cup at 25 years old. He is not done scoring. He might not be done for a very long time. There is a specific conversation that happens whenever Erling Haaland's name comes up among serious football people. Someone mentions the goals. Someone else mentions what he does not do. Someone points at the Ballon d'Or tally. Someone else points at the Champions League medal. The conversation circles for a while and reaches no conclusion, because the conclusion requires categories that football has not needed before. He does not fit the template of the greats who came before him. Messi creates and destroys and orchestrates. Ronaldo wills matches to bend around his desire. Pele played with a joy that made watching feel like a gift. Ronaldo Nazario ran through defenses with a ferocity that felt barely controlled. Thierry Henry combined pace and technique and intellect into something classical and beautiful. Haaland does none of these things in quite the same way. He is not the architect. He is not the conductor. He does not spray passes or dictate tempo or conjure moments from nothing. He arrives in the penalty box at the exact moment the ball does, and then the ball goes in, over and over, faster than anyone in history, more reliably than any striker his generation has produced, at a rate that, if maintained, will place him above every name in the record books within the next 6 or 7 years. 300 goals before his 25th birthday. 150 goals for Manchester City in fewer appearances than anyone in the club's history. 51 goals for Norway in 45 international matches, a ratio that places him alongside the most prolific international scorers the game has ever seen. 7 goals in 3 World Cup matches at his first tournament. Still going. The standing long jump record he set at 5 years old. The music single he released at 15. 14 million YouTube views. The ancient Norse chronicles he bought at auction and donated to a local library. The blue light glasses. The 9 hours of sleep. The son born in December in Brine, the same small town where it all began. Football has always tried to produce a perfect striker, the ideal center forward. Tall, fast, powerful, clinical, intelligent about movement, ruthless in front of goal. Every generation names a different candidate and debates the claim. The debate about this generation has a specific answer that is uncomfortable for people who want art alongside efficiency. The answer has 150 Premier League goals in it, and 3 Golden Boots in 4 seasons, and a Champions League medal won in the treble season, and 16 qualifying goals that dragged a nation back to the World Cup after 28 years of absence. The answer is 25 years old and playing his first tournament and scoring in every match. His father's career ended on an April afternoon in 2001, and something was lost that could not be recovered. Alfie Haaland sat in the stands for 25 years instead of playing. He watched, he advised, he negotiated, he helped build what his own body could not finish. The story of a father and a son, a deliberate tackle and a career ended, a small town on the Norwegian coast and the biggest stages in world football, is the story underneath the records. It is easy to miss when the goals are coming this quickly. The machine scores. The man underneath it carries something his father never got to lift. The World Cup quarterfinal is coming. Brina is watching.